January last year, I booked my place. I booked my boat skipper to escort me across from England to France. And whilst I was had my sort of sight set on this, I decided to raise money for charity. So same with the event a couple of months ago. This was to raise money for Teenage Cancer Trust. But
brilliant.
But also as a personal challenge, I decided I wanted to.
You've always wanted to do it. I just want to swim the channel.
Yeah, for the last few years. Yeah.
Interesting. And so the preparations for this is just not an everyday swim, of course. What was the preparation like?
I've been training for 12 months. I could swim before that, but not fantastically. I was never a swimmer, that was sort of from a swimming background or anything.
What was you like when you woke up in the morning and thought, right,
it had all been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, really, because like I said, I should have gone on the 23rd of September, and I got called up and told you're going to swim in 2 days' time, and I was excited. I went to bed and packed everything, and I was ready to go, and then got a phone call saying it's not happening, you're not going swimming. So big letdown. Clock. We were planning on swimming.
So you got in the water what time? 3 in the morning.
About 2:30
in the morning.
Sunday morning. Yeah.
Wow. And what was that moment like?
Yeah, that was pretty nerve-wracking. That was kind of the scariest part of it. Stood on the back of the boat, and I had to swim from the back of the boat to the shore to stand clear of the water before starting the clock for the swim.
Right.
And yeah, that was quite daunting. And it was 3 degrees the air temperature, and it was about 15 something.
What was going through your mind?
Do I really have to go in?
Is it too late?
Yeah, can I pull out? So I was told to swim to the shore and raise my arms. I said I'd sort of swim to the shore and run off.
Run off? Yeah. Taxi?
Yeah.
Bus?
Yeah. And I jumped in and swam to the shore, and my goggle strap had come apart, so I had to stand on the beach then in the dark and fix my goggles with nervous, shaky hands and before starting with the challenge.
And then you're off.
Yeah, and from then on, nerves kind of went a bit. And it was adrenaline for the first few hours. Swimming, night swimming, it's not something you're ever going to be 100% comfortable with.
No, sure.
It is quite peaceful, and it's once you get out of your head that there's nothing in there, and it's
because I guess your mind will be playing tricks. Because for me, think about it, well, what if I come across a big ferry? What if all that sort of stuff?
You do worry about swimming into things, and that's whether it's dark or whether the water's murky. You're swimming in an alien environment, and even if it was just a pile of seaweed or a plastic bag or anything like that, if you're not expecting it, it's gonna catch you by surprise.
Absolutely. So take us through the process. Do you stop for breaks, or is it continuous? How does it work?
You do stop for breaks. You can't touch the boat, you can't touch anybody.
Oh, okay.
So literally a stop for break is a turn on your back, float like an otter, kick your feet a bit to keep going, and what am I doing?
Steve, 7 hours, pretty much sort of in the middle, in the separation zone. Swimming nicely, making good progress.
Bianca Kempster. Good afternoon to you, Bianca.
Hello.
Tell us exactly where you are and what on earth you're doing.
Well, I'm sat on a boat in the middle of the English Channel because Steve Hayes at the moment is swimming from England to France. He's doing absolutely fantastically. Been for coming up to 12 hours now.
How are conditions out there, Bianca?
It's actually calmed down a little bit now. It's obviously beginning of October, so it's fairly cold. Like, the water temperature isn't as hot as it was during the summer, and he's one of the last swimmers of the season to go. So the water's calmed down, and he's really toughing it out. He's doing really well. We're really proud of him here, so all his family at home.
Moving up the Supermax.
Supermax? That's called Savannah.
What's that? Steve's swimming 15 hours in. They've asked him to put a push on. He's picked up his stroke rate to 52. Nice to see him responding, finding it tough.
A few hours before the end, it didn't seem like I was going anywhere. My crew started to look a little bit concerned, and the boat skipper, or pilot as they're called, came out and asked me how much I had more to give. And we went back and forth a few times with me saying, how much more do you need? And him saying, how much more can you give? Ultimately, he said, you're being swept away by the tides. You're being swept north and away from France, so you need to sprint for 30 minutes.
Right, Steve, that was brilliant. Got us right out the tide now, mate. You pushed us in there nicely. Now, do you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Right, 1.8 miles straight in front of you, but you're out of the tide now, so it's a straight swim in. And the way you've been swimming, I reckon you can sew this up in the next couple of hours. How's that? Does that sound shit, or does that sound fucking shit?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
We'll take put up the gas a bit, yeah?
looked fine, so I sped up and I started swimming quite fast for 30 minutes, but all the time thinking, he's definitely telling me porkies. He's going to keep me doing this for an hour at least. And he didn't. It was half an hour of sprinting as fast as I could.
Oh, good.
Which isn't very fast.
Okay. I'm surprised after that time.
Yeah. And then after that we broke through, and then it started getting dark.
Yeah. On a tough home stretch, he's got about a mile to go. He's doing well, but very tired. Sun's set already. It's got a bit chilly, but he's powering through it. Keep on going.
And that was hard as well, because we were aiming for some lights in the distance, but just didn't seem to get any closer at all. Really. Oh.
Here we are, 17 hours. Steve's just slogging away, one stroke at a time. It's taking a while, it always does. We're getting there.
2 crew members came into the water and they said, look Steve, they wouldn't have let us come in if we weren't right at the end.
Sure.
So okay, let's go swimming, and that still seemed to take forever.
Really?
Yeah, and I really thought I would be landing with tear-filled goggles and screaming my head off with jubilation, and none of that was there really. It was just, I was so relieved to get there. And then just kind of thought, ooh, got to swim back to the boat now.
Oh, really? It's the last thing you want to do, is it?
Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
It was another sort of, I suppose it was only about 5 minutes swim.
Yeah, well, you might as well be swimming this length of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long was it? How was the...
I was swimming for 17 hours and 47 minutes.
Wow. You must be pleased, though. You've done it.
I am pleased. It hasn't really set in. It still hasn't set in. It's, you know, I got home after that. We had a 4-hour boat trip back to Dover after that, where I sort of tried to warm up a little bit, and then.
So Steve,
Come to Channel Swim.
morning after, 9 o'clock. How are you feeling?
Sore. My left shoulder and my right wrist are very, very sore.
Yeah.
Very tired. Didn't sleep that well.
No.
Blocked up a lot. Couldn't breathe a lot of times. But yeah.
Feelings about the swim?
Still no elation really. It's I don't think that's sunk in yet, the reality of what I've achieved, and I'm sure that'll come over the next couple of days, probably when I see the family. But no, at the moment, no big feelings about it really. Very happy with what I've achieved, very proud of what I've achieved. And it's been nice reading all of the hundreds and hundreds of messages, emails, texts and Facebook messages, but it's been very nice.
The Evans, Tidal, big smile